Sorry about it. I've been gas bagging away like anything, and I don't know what you missed there. I was talking about FTX and how it relates to China, and you know what's going on in China now. Once we see how the Chinese react to their government, it may be a case that they'll find out all the details of what China was doing around the world, sort of thing. And in preparation of please don't nuke us, don't get so angry, we're going to give you all this information, but we give you carte blanche to deal with these people in a public executional sort of way. It may be that sort of situation. So looks like we've got to the end of, so I assume that goes down to our other sort of coal furnaces on that side, but they're not the actual swamp sort of thing. Oh, the reason I've got my boots on is it's snake-a-rooney season. That's the reason I've got my boots on. So yeah. So even though that's why I'm taking my shorts off, because it's more arduous to have your boots on. You got to like work twice as hard. So by taking my shorts off, I've cut 5 degrees off the old ballsack area, the old barbecue area. That's a joke to an old clip called Barbecue Area. A misheard translation of what some of the early Aborigines. See, look, there's a limb right off that tree down there, that brown section. Quite a massive one too. As I said, we had a lot around our area, you know, and my partner went up Blackwood area, and she said there was tons of Coromandel Parade, and apparently there was a whole 2 kilometre section from Hawthorndean all the way up to Upper Sturt, and they've got to replace 2 kilometres of pylons and power lines, and that's why I've only got this one trip this year, because we're out Ironbank way sort of thing. Yeah, sort of the Blackwood golf course is like the latter half. They still call it Blackwood, even though it's on the very back end of Blackwood. And of course you've got Blackwood Forest, of course, and they had power lines down here and trees and everything, and so I gave them a week's grace to actually get out here, chop them all up and replace the power lines and everything else. So I basically gave up one of the final trips of the year to that, so they could get their work done, and also it would be less dangerous, of course, you see. But you can still see remnants around of how bad it was, and especially, as I said, from Hawthorndean up to Upper Sturt, which then goes up to Mount Lofty sort of thing. Yeah, up to Stirling and Aldgate, you know, around the Mount Lofty sort of area, sort of thing, the upper tiers, basically, because we've got a multi-tiered, subalpine sort of area region sort of thing. And yeah, I'm looking for a whole load of these or something. We may just want to have a quick squiz a rooney. See, we got some rockage here. Maybe a case of just sort of having a bit of butchers now, and making sure I'm on the. Some of the things have come back, but it's still doing crazy things. So it could be a total dog's breakfast here. It could be the worst video I've ever made. You never know, might crack it. Every so many fractions of a second, you'll get the best video you've ever seen. Mug's law, you know. And I'll never know what those settings were or something, because it probably won't allow me to go in and find in that 4th second or something what the actual parameters of that shot were. So, you know, take me another 10 years to try and backtrack and test out all the possible settings to get to something even better than we've managed to concoct up to this point in time, sort of thing. Oh yeah, we recognise this area. There was a nice grevillea, wasn't there? A nice pinky red or magenta red sort of thing, and you can see that's 45 degrees straight down, and I can see some coal for it in the very distance, because it's got that slightly different green colour. So yeah, and so on and so forth. But so I might want to slowly meander at an angle sort of thing, you know, do a sort of goat sort of run sort of thing down there. And I can see the grass section. I'll hold the camera high down there, so we might want to go on the back end of it. So because if that's the grass section, the swamp starts there, so we got to sort of, yeah, I know, interesting, isn't it? It's brown, and yet when we come in previous times it would be green, and yet some of them are quite damp. So what else have we got? I've done the kangaroo. Oh yeah, Kangaroo Flat. There's an area out here in southern Abbotland, you know, Tony Abbott, Vale Pris, aka Dr. No, post the King John Howard years, as we like to call him. They called him Honest John for a reason. Yeah. And anyway, we got through those years, didn't we? And so on and so forth. And we'll just sort of take a stroll down here. Danger Dan and Danger Dan did a little speech on the Insiders on Sunday, the show we have called the Insiders, and I was saying to my trigger plant. I was saying to there you go. That's the normal basic one, I suppose. And just walking by. And I was saying to my partner, well, the way he's talking like here, you know, we might want to move to Victoria as a bit of a joke, because, you know, I'm a sand grabber through and through, ex-patria sand grabber. Oh, here we go. Can you see that green patch down there? That's all coal fern. That's the big coal fern swamp, and we're going to try and get to one end of it sort of thing and see, you know, so bonata could be growing in that or near it, and we might want to find how the water gets into that coal fern swamp and, you know, go around it if we can, but we've got to get down to it sort of thing. So this is the big one, which is quite big, and then we got one which probably half that size that we've been to before, and a few others along the way. But it seems like every time you get the outcropping up there, you get some sort of seep or something, or spring, which is very strange. Spring coming from a ridge top, you know, spring coming halfway, maybe at the bottom of a geologic feature. Yeah, I can understand that. The water flows through, hits a impermeable lens or something, comes out on the side. But to have it so high up, it's strange. Where is it coming from, you know? You know, it can't just be coming from rainfall. It's for it to go all year round, even through the dry. So anyway, because, you know, ferns need usually need a permanent water source or thing, because they're primitive plants. So see, they don't have you know, a proper vascular system. They don't have all the storage organs and things, you know, developmental storage organs. And we might actually go up and down to the other tip by the looks of it. And I don't really want to go up, maybe just across and around and down. And it looks like there's some blackberry or something, or is it bracken fern? In other words, just bracken. Yeah, bracken is a fern. Yeah. Yeah, they're probably all these little phrases out of my thing. It's going to be like Paul Temple, you know, the red rosetti thing. They're going to pick on the one thing that I say quite often that's a bit sort of skew-whiff sort of thing. Bracken is a fern. So like Shakespearean in a way. This was a man. Yeah. Yeah, I think I could give Patrick Stewart a run for his money if I really tried hard enough. But there have been a lot of greats in the past. So, with a bit of training, I suppose. A bit of dictional training. That sounds so gay, doesn't it? So looks like someone's tried to get down there, but I want to go on the other side. So I think on the side. And I've got to be so careful now. So it could be snake holes and stuff. That's why I got the boots. You see, it gives me a chance. You know, you got some deadly snakeroony, and it might be better to go up and around. But it's hard, fellas. It's basically 45 degrees when I go straight up. So, you know, with wellies on, as I said, Donnie couldn't believe how fit I was in the late 90s, having come from WA. But as I was saying to my cobber mate from WA, Brian Parker, I was over the back of our place every afternoon after school, maybe a number of times. I come back, have a glass of milk or something, cordial or whatever, back out there again, and weekends, and you know, I was probably at the peak of fitness when I came from WA sort of thing, and you know, a peak of what a child can be as fitness, I think. So by the late 90s, you know, I was winding down and I started growing old, you know, the usual liver spots and stuff. When I was 40, about 2005. So, you know, that little window with Donnie in there. As I said, I have vowed to go and see Donnie again once I've cracked it. So, hopefully it won't be too much longer. I'm putting a lot of stress on the situation and getting to almost laughable states now. So I think I'm getting to the stage where, you know, something's going to give. Some bit of the biological cart, the wheel's going to fall off or something, and we're going to crack it. And I don't think it's hoping, because I'm doing experimentation, you see. It's not just all talk. Got a lot of experiments going, and hopefully, the way I look at it, you might want to take this on board, take notes now. All this, have you noticed when you go to these shops, all the bags have got NPK on them, and I'm thinking, is that a misdirection, or is it really trying to get you into a mindset of NPK sort of thing? Yeah. Yeah, 45 degrees in wellies, fellas. Cut me some Adrian slack. You're probably not listening to this because the video is crap or something, because it's just happened to stuff up at the most inappropriate of moments. Not that there's anything wrong with that. To quote the old famous Seinfeld line. And now, yeah, this is 45 degrees. Straight down, and there wasn't some form of vegetation in the way. I'm going to have a rest down there, and I'm going to have to take it in stages, and probably at gear 1.5 or something, getting back up. Have you got negative gearing, Richard? I think it's at moments like this you think, I wish I had negative gearing. That sounds so funny to someone in the financial world, I think. So, as you can see, that's the other end of it. It goes all the way through. So, 10 degrees, 20 degrees, 30 degrees, 40 degrees, 50 degrees, 60 degrees, 70 degrees, maybe 80 degree arc. So, it's a big fucking swamp. It's a big fucking coral fern swamp. So, you know. And I can hear the sound of flowing water, you see. So. But then again, we have had a lot of water in the past few weeks, and it's been going up and down, up and down. We get into the low upper 20s, 29, low 30s to 31, 32 degrees, maybe 33, and it goes back down to something in the teens, which is very unusual. So it's oscillating up and down, up and down, and we put the air conditioner on, and now it's off again. And as I said, Mr. Seeley can wear his pinstripe suit any time of the day, all night, any place. He can come bloody wear it in my house if he wants. I don't give a stuff. As I said, our first Breeze Air conditioner in 1995 cost us $3,000 when Wall units, refrigerated wall units were about $800 to have them, installed and everything. Then we had some little lackey came round to do our, a sort of annual review or something, and he took the bloody belt, so we couldn't even turn it on then. And we thought, fuck that. We did the Australian, fuck this. And we went back to Breeze Air, and we bought the new model, totally beltless, super magnets, runs on super magnets without a belt, and cost us half the price, $1,500 basically. So it cost us half the price, and it runs for 1/8 of the cost of the original one. So if we ran this one for the whole year, for a full year, it would cost us 8 weeks of the old one. Sorry, every week's the old one. But no one runs it for a whole year. We only run it for basically 4 months of the year. So what's 1/8 of 4 months? Well, a quarter of 4 months is 1 month, 1/8 is 2 weeks. So basically the cost of seasonally running our new one with no belt and all the super magnets costs us basically 2 weeks of the old one. And so our electricity bill is basically nothing, and we just run it day and night for 4 months basically. And as I said, Mr. Seeley can bloody wear that pinstripe suit any day. He can come knocking on my door in the middle of the night, and I'll let him in the door. He's put his money where his mouth was, I want to improve air conditioners, not this little tow rag from one of these sports channels doing these wall splits. Auntie Sue's got one of those, and it hardly does one room, and her electricity bill is off the chart. Everyone's talking about high electricity bills, but when these little tow rags came to the door about 5 years ago, or maybe longer, banging on about cheap plans, I just kept them at the door like a Mormon at the door. I remember my dad in WA, he kept the Mormons at our door. We had one of those horse stable doors. You could open the top but leave the bottom closed. They were aging to get in there. He kept them at that door for 4 hours before they decided to go away. My dad talked them out of coming into the house after 4 hours. That's how good my dad is with the Mormons. And talked them all round and round in circles and everything. Yeah. But these people don't, when they had these little tow rags coming from overseas countries, sort of trying to get you onto these little plans. Oh, it'll be half price, but only for a year, but then you're locked in for 5 years as the price keeps going up and up and up and up and up. And of course then they have the gall to say, oh, but you chose the new plan or something. No, you badgered us for so long, you didn't even talk us into it, sort of thing, You kept coming to the door. I thought, how much are these people being paid? They keep coming to the door, almost every week, sort of thing. Surely there's some law against that, And I just, politely said, hello and goodbye, sort of thing. And basically our electricity bills haven't really changed much at all. Alternatively, it could be the fact we have an extra bloke living next door to us, and there's always light coming from his loft space. So I'm thinking, Is he trying to keep us sweet about his loft space by giving us cheap electricity? I don't know, but anyway, that's just an aside there. Keep it stum, keep it to yourself, but yeah. So as you can see, it's quite a... I'm going to try and walk my way down there into this one sort of thing, and then I'm going to have to walk 45 degrees slowly up there, but I might not film that.